Welcome to another episode of Mindful Mali with me, Mali Kaluve, a spirituality podcast focused on growth and self-discovery, a space where none are judged and all are welcome as we all strive to become better versions of ourselves. And if it is your first time listening to the podcast, I just want to say a big welcome. And for anybody who's constantly been listening to the podcast, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support. I really do appreciate it so much. Now, today's episode literally came from something I was seeing online. It was actually a post by Drake, and he was talking about how a long time ago, when he was just starting out, I think the post said 2007, he used to hire or rent this car that he had always wanted so that he had a certain appearance towards the public, and also that he would feel as though he was at the point of success or that he was really destined to make it. And it had me thinking about another book I'm currently reading right now, which is Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard. Now, before we get into discussing or me breaking down exactly why this is something I wanted to talk about, as usual, the affirmations we have will always be in alignment with whatever it is that we are talking about. And today's affirmation is, I feel and so it is. I feel and so it is. So when I was looking at the post and everything, it brought me back to the whole concept of manifestation, because the way it was pretty much written is, through the actions he took and stuff like that, it brought about or it helped him manifest where he is now. And when it comes to manifestation or understanding, just like the book I'm reading says, a lot of people don't realize that the truth is feeling is the secret. It is the key part of really manifesting, if you want to use that word, or creating whatever reality it is that you are trying to bring about. Whether it's a feeling, whether sometimes it's even a materialistic thing, relationships in your life, those type of situations that you may be wanting to bring to yourself or bring inside your life. A lot of the time people ignore or don't recognize that one of the most important parts is actually the feeling. So what maybe people don't realize or may not know is that our subconscious is the hub of creation or manifestation, however you want to refer it to. I do prefer the word creation because the word manifestation, sometimes I don't feel, for some people it may not be as clear in terms of, what it really means or how it comes about. So our subconscious is the home. It is where a lot of our present or what is going on in our present, even within our bodies, that is where it comes from. It stems from the subconscious mind. And the process of creation, which the subconscious does, it starts with an idea or a thought. From an idea or a thought, it goes into a feeling. And then from the feeling comes the desire to act. So if you had listened to the episode I had about manifestation, pretty much what I had listed down or talked about followed these three main steps. Maybe in a little bit more broken down steps, but you could go check that out as well. And also, this transition from thought or idea to feeling to desire to act or the action itself, this also was something I brought up in the episode about the transmutation of energy. Thoughts are energy, feelings are energy. These are different forms of energy, and we take it through this journey of one form or one shape to another until it manifests or it appears within our physical, really. So, long story short, you just have to remember that it's thought, feeling, and action. This is the movement of whatever it is you're trying to manifest, or the ideas or concept of thoughts moving from the conscious mind to the subconscious. Now I want you to pay attention to that middle part, that second step, you could call it, about manifestation or creation in this sense, which was feeling. Now feeling is what you call the broker. It's like the messenger. It's the person you guys send to go from this room to the other. The thought just can't drop into the subconscious mind and be like, hey, let's make this happen. The thought gotta talk to the feeling, and the feeling gotta talk to the subconscious. And that is basically how things manifest or come about, because again, this is the medium, or this is what's your middleman for the ideas that you have to be placed into the subconscious. They just can't go there. So when it's placed, and whatever is placed in your subconscious also must be expressed. And what I mean by this is, when you have that feeling and it's manifested manifested into your subconscious. What your subconscious does is, your subconscious is like the person that puts it together. So you got these thoughts, you got this feeling to match with it. Now you need somebody or you need something to put it together. And that's what the subconscious does. It gives it a shape, it gives it a form, and it expresses it. Now this goes two ways. When I'm talking about all of this, I'm not just talking about positive thought per se. I'm also talking about the negative thoughts. They all play out pretty much in the same way. This is how we manifest on a regular. This is why, I say watch how you talk to yourself, watch the words you say, watch the thoughts you have, observe them, pay attention to them, because a lot of the time they are what bring about certain physical feelings within ourselves, and they are also what play a role in, again, the reality. Like I've said, the inside is a reflection of the outside. The inside reflects what is going on the outside. So when you see something wrong on the outside, you gotta introspect, look into yourself, because a lot of the time that is where it is all stemming from. And you have to be, of course, cautious about that. Again, why feeling is a secret. Now, when it comes to all of this, and I did mention that the first part of the whole idea of the creation and manifestation, it comes with the thought first. Now, you're not just thinking anyhow. Remember that. You want to lead with thinking feelingly. And I love how the book Feeling is a Secret puts it. Neville Goddard puts it as you need to think feelingly. And what it means by think feelingly is a lot of the time when it comes to even stuff like affirmations or manifestation, that people want to remind themselves every day. You're not going to sit down and be like, I am beautiful, or I am successful, or I am happy, and not think about the feeling that comes with the happiness, the feeling that comes with the success, the feeling that comes with all of that. Otherwise, it's just words you're saying out there. See, it's not just simple as just saying things and putting it out there. That's the problem. A lot of the time, the misconception with manifestation is that it comes from a place of just saying anything. You're just putting any word, any statement out there into the universe and hoping for the best. No, it's about also thinking feelingly. You think it with the emotions or with the feeling that comes with it. So if you're somebody who's thinking about peace, or you're like, I want peace, if that's something I'm desiring, you also want to sit down and think about, what does peace feel like, or what does my peace feel like? When you start to think about it in that perspective, you also start to feel that peace within yourself as you think about, it's like, okay, yeah, my peace feels like this. And then you're inviting those emotions, those feelings within yourself. And once you're doing that, you're now placing what it is you want within your subconscious mind. I want you to think about it as when you're meditating. See, when you're meditating, or when you're doing a guided meditation or something like that, and let's say it's about peace of mind or healing and stuff like that, one of the things you'll always realize about the voice or whoever is guiding you or what they're saying, or even yourself, is the things that you're telling yourself are, imagine you're in this place right now. Think of how it feels to be peaceful. Think about how it feels to be, rested. Relax yourself. All these different things. And the reason they're like that is because they're triggering, or they're bringing about the feeling that comes with this peace you're meditating for, or this, reflection, whatever it is you're doing, you're thinking feelingly about it. You're inviting the sensation. And that's the thing about manifestation or creation, is what people don't realize is sensation is a lot bigger and a lot stronger than quote unquote manifestation. See, manifestation dwells on the bed of sensation. What I mean by that is, it's not manifestation then comes the feeling. Feeling is the basis of all manifestation. That is where it stems from. And because of that, you also want to start thinking the right thoughts, or pushing yourself to think in a certain direction. A lot of people think that they are not, and that they will be. What do I mean? You think, I am not successful, but I will be successful. See, the problem with that is it's something so distant to you. You've not familiarized yourself with what it's like to be successful. What does it feel like? What does my success feel like? And maybe success wasn't the right term, because again, I like to remind you guys that success is a process. It's not a destination. As long as you're working working towards your goal, you're working towards the direction you want to head, you are already successful. It is a constant realization of the movement towards, of course, the goal you are trying to achieve. So don't let people think that success is per se a destination. There's always going to be more, there's always going to be better. And I say that relatively, but there's always going to be more, always going to be better. So don't always just chase that. But yeah, back to that. When you start to think, or you're trying to manifest or create, and you're doing it from the perspective where I will be, these thoughts will overrun the thought of where you want to be currently. Because again, when you think about what will be or what's not there or what you are not, the lack of things, you dwell on that a lot more. You dwell on the not or the will be. You don't realize it, but we always focus on the fact where you're like, okay, I will be successful one day. But the back of your head is always going to be like, yeah, you're not successful. And even stepping away from that, that is already kind of like a demotivating thought. What you do want to do, and it's something I do often. And honestly, for me, I feel like it is what has also placed me where I am now with the opportunities I'm getting now and the amazing experiences, is the fact that, one, I'm a big dreamer. And when I'm dreaming big, I'm also thinking and feeling big. What I mean by this is, by the time I'm sitting down thinking about, okay, this is going to be one of the most amazing podcasts ever, and it's going to touch so many lives, I'm not thinking about it just like, oh, yeah, it's a thought. I feel it. I think about the feeling. I'm the type of person, let's say, if you're somebody who wants to be a great performer or a singer, one day stand in the middle of an empty stadium, a stage, look out and take in the feeling of what it would feel like if it was packed. Get familiar with it. Because again, this feeling turns into the desire, the will to act. And that's another key thing. You need to realize that all this creation, this manifestation, a lot of people like to sing this song, but they don't realize there's still the action bit of it. See, what you don't realize is your feelings can still be suppressed, good or bad ones. And once you suppress it and you're not expressing it, it's not going to play out. So when you've thought the thought and you felt the feeling and you've placed this into your subconscious, if you're not acting on it, if you're not moving with it, it's not going to go anywhere. And I'll give you the example of, let me not say negative, but for lack of better words, negative thoughts. When the subconscious gives things form and it expresses it in one way or another, it can also manifest physically. Like, you ever realize when you have a bad feeling about something, you also start to feel it physically. Your stomach hurts or you're aching. When you've been bitter for so long, a lot of people, you get headaches. You get all these different physical realizations. Why? Because again, that's still your feeling and thoughts being given form by the subconscious mind and it being turned into the physical, which could be your physical response within your body. But that being said, it's just pretty much understanding when it comes to manifestation or creation or, trying to bring about the reality you desire, that the key aspect, and I probably will be talking a lot more about different aspects of this, most definitely as I, first of all, go through the book and also my personal reflections on it, is realizing that feeling is the secret. It's not per se the thoughts. It's not per se all these other stuff. The feeling is the key part. It's what sets the tone. It's what taps into your senses. You have to remember, our mind doesn't work on a fact basis. It works on what we tell it. When you trigger your senses, when you think about what that new, I'll give you an example like Drake, that new car, what it smells like, what it feels like, how does it drive, how does it move, all of that, you also start to impress it or put it in your subconscious. And there's even that desire. It really pushes you also to act on it a lot more. See, manifestation is not just magic. It's not like you think, oh, I thought it is now, tomorrow, next week, I'm gonna have a car. No, it also pushes you in terms of the action bit. See, it goes hand in hand with the action. There are three parts to it: the thought, the feeling, the action. You can't forget the action. Now, because of that, the work you put in, and you're still familiar with this feeling, you know what it feels like. You've already experienced it. That gives you one hell of a drive. I will tell you, if there's something I get off of and I love doing, is feeling whatever it is I want to achieve. I will stand wherever it is. And I'll give you an example. So when I used to do quite a bit of dancing, I used to like to stand on the stage and think about when I'm the biggest dancer. And I used to think about about how it felt, like how it felt to have that whole stadium full. In that moment, that stadium is full. In that moment, I'm dancing my heart off. In that moment, people are screaming, enjoying, having fun. Like, you see, that's how it is. That's what brings about the manifestation of what happens. Now, I did start dancing like performatively as much, but that was still a moment where I did open a lot of doors and opportunities with that. If I continue to put in the work, who knows? I might have been a lot further right now. But even now, in terms of my photography, in terms of my creative aspect, the other things I do, sometimes it shocks me because yes, I was familiar with the feeling. I'm like, wow, it actually happened. I still put the work in. It's not that I just started whatever magic all of a sudden is here. It's the entire process, that 360. But that being said, I just want to thank you guys for all the support again. Just remind you to be caring, be compassionate, be loving, and most of all, take care. For more updates on the podcast, head over to them at Mindful Mali page and my personal page at Mali Kaluve.